You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the March 20th meeting of the Michigan City Police Civil Service Commission. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
So today will be an abbreviated meeting because we don't have a quorum. Commissioner Simmons' daughter's being married in Jamaica this week, so she's not in town, and Commissioner Kraus still thinks he's 45 years younger than he is, and he's down spring breaking in Florida, so I'm it. So with that said, we won't discuss any new business or vote on anything today. But before we start the meeting, I'd like everybody to stand and say allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So before we get into the boring stuff for most of the people in the audience today, we'll start with the presentation that the administration would like to give some awards.
Thank you, President Matsky. Welcome everybody. Today we'll have a couple of presentations, 2 letters of accommodation for 2 of our fine officers, and then also 2 certificates of appreciation to 2 community members. So first we'll start with our letters of accommodation. If Officer Abraham, please come forward. So, Officer Douglas Abraham was on the 7th day of February 2024 the subject of a letter of commendation for outstanding service as follows. On Wednesday, February 7th, 2024, Officer Abraham was assigned to the front desk at the Michigan City Police Department for Uniform Shift 2. With Uniform Shift 3 not having the desk officer assigned for overnight, Officer Abraham stayed after his shift ended to continue to watch an arrested person and booking as other officers were completing the arrest. Shortly after his shift ended, Officer Abraham advised Corporal Babcock he was watching the cell cameras and the arrested person, which he observed him, removed a bag containing a white substance from his underwear and placed it into his mouth while inside cell 6 at approximately 22:38 hours. Corporal Babcock went back to the booking area and found that the arrested person had swallowed the bag. The arrested person did not want to go to the hospital because of what he swallowed. Despite this, Corporal Babcock advised Officer Callahan to take the arrested person to Franciscan for evaluation and possibly have his stomach's content pumped. Officer Callahan did this and would later advise that the arrested person became unconscious and unresponsive on the way to the hospital. The arrested person was administered more than 4 doses of Narcan while at the hospital due to overdosing. Corporal Wright, who nominated Officer Abraham for this letter, stated, had it not been for Officer Abraham for being diligent in watching the cameras, going beyond the normal call of duty, ensured that the arrested person stayed alive. Officer Douglas Abraham, your actions during this event were recognized by the command staff and are in keeping with the highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It gives me great pleasure to present you with this letter of commendation. Congratulations, sir. Do I have a volunteer to take photos? Our regular photo person is not here.
Sir, great job.
Officer Boots. Officer Ashley Boots was on the 18th of February 2024 the subject of a letter of commendation for outstanding service as follows. On Sunday, February 18, 2024, at approximately 1800 hours, Uniform Shift 2 responded to a suicidal subject dispatched in the 900 block of West Cool Spring Avenue. The call notes that were relayed to officers by dispatch state that the father is threatening to commit Code 9, has possession of a firearm, said if a police officer shows up, he will blow his brains out. For your information, Code 9 is suicide. Dispatch also advised the following. Male already fired shots in the front driveway. Male did drink 2 cases of beer. Will not give the firearm up. Threatened wife with firearm. After the situation was concluded, Officer Dan Revore informed Sergeant Gill that Officer Ashley Boots did an outstanding job speaking with the 2 with both the suicidal subject and his wife over the phone. Officer Booth's body camera video was viewed by Sergeant Gia in order to obtain a better account of her actions while at 904 West Cool Spring Avenue. On her body camera, Officer Boots can be seen immediately engaging with family members in order to gather information. She then obtains a phone number from one of the family members to try and make contact with the suicidal subject. Officer Boots was able to make contact with the wife of the suicidal subject and obtains a location of her husband. She then has the wife place a phone close to the suicidal subject so that she is able to communicate with him. Officer Boots was able to calmly speak with the suicidal subject and provided the suicidal subject with directives so that he could safely be placed in handcuffs. The suicide subject was later taken to the hospital for treatment and his firearms were seized for safekeeping. Sergeant McGee believes Officer Boots was instrumental in bringing this incident to a safe ending for everyone involved. Officer Boots showed initiative that is rarely seen in newer officers such as herself. Her skills in speaking with people in difficult situations are truly an asset to this department. It is recommended that she receive a letter of commendation for her actions. Officer Ashley Boots' actions during this event were recognized by the command staff and are in keeping with the highest standards of the Michigan City Police Department. It gives me great pleasure to present you with this letter of commendation. Where are you going? You two, before you leave, you guys hang around for a minute so we can get some more photos with you guys, right? In the group, everyone. Thank you. 1 second, because I have a... All right, for our community partners. So, if I could have Pastor Kimberly Williams and Ms. Julianne Hill, please come forward. So as you all know, last year we did a very extensive and heavy initiative going toward recruitment and retention. Myself and Chief Worker at the time, we had a meeting with some community members, and out of that came a request that we provide study sessions for those as we were marketing our hiring process, for those that are new applicants have study sessions to give them a better chance of succeeding in a written test. And so with that being said, Pastor Williams was at the meeting, and so she volunteered to help out. And also Julianne Hill was working with a Goodwill at the time, and so she volunteered also to help out. So they took their time in the evening to do over, as you'll see in these letters as I read them, over approximately 50 hours of service over the last it was about 6 month time of making sure that new applicants had the confidence and skill set in order to pass a written test. And with their help, we were able, if you went to their study sessions, your likelihood of passing went up about 75%. I would say about 75% of applicants that did go to the study sessions passed a written test. Not only did they have confidence there, they even had more confidence to go and pass the physical agility. So we thought it was important that we recognize their efforts because, we talked about our recruitment initiative, which has been very good for us, but they are a big part of that also. So, Pastor Kimberly Williams, Ms. Julianne Hill, is awarded this certificate of appreciation, a recognition of your willingness and dedication to partner with the Michigan City Police Department to help with the recruitment and retention initiative during the time frame of July 2023 to February 2024. The Michigan City Police Department thanks you for volunteering to help new applicants prepare for the initial written test and hiring process. The approximately 50 hours of community service hour donated to this initiative was priceless and appreciated by this department. Thank you for being a community partner with the Michigan City Police Department. So, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate all your guys' help.
Thank you.
One more picture.
Thank you. See, Chief Porter act like he want to hug me.
All right, and so before you go though, we have a special prize. Today is Pastor Williams' birthday, and if you all don't know, Pastor Williams is my aunt, and so my mom would be very mad if I didn't take this time to recognize Pastor Williams' birthday. So we go all sing happy birthday, and we got a little cake with some, we want to bring it up, Miss Connie, so you can blow the candles out, and then afterwards, we want to take it back to class with you, or we want to cut it here. I'm gonna try not to partake because I'm in a weight loss challenge that I'm losing bad at right now.
What's the today?
Let's say it's a Tuesday too. So if you all would help me sing happy birthday, I'd appreciate it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kimberly Williams. And Kimberly Williams. Happy birthday to you.
See that young boy.
23 never looked so good.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Really appreciate the community partners that we have, and again, thank you all for taking part in this award ceremony. To the family and friends that have come, thank you all for coming. I think you guys are instrumental in what our successful officers. I think it's always important. I know that support system that we have outside of this department are very important. That what has allowed me to excel here at the police department because of my support systems, not allowing me to ever give up and never allowing me to get into a bad situation because my mom probably still try to whoop me, and you can see my hands here. But again, thank you all for coming. If you all want to hang out a little bit, we can do some photos out there, and I would like to get some photos with the family. The officers all together for you. We have a couple more minutes. Thank you.
Does anyone want a piece of cake?
If you gonna cut that cake, kill it back there, so because I want to see it. Take it back. Yeah, take it to school. I'm sure the kids would love it.
So again, congratulations to the two officers who got their letters of commendation and to the community members who received recognition today. I will tell you that what Chief spoke about as far as help with the testing process, while those applicants or aspiring applicants aren't given any of the test questions, they're given sample questions of what they may see. And I will tell you that in the last test, I think we had 15 applicants here, and of those 15, 6 passed the written test, which is pretty low. But the reason for that is most applicants fail out the math portion. And not to say that the math portion is hard, but it's math that you don't use every day or think about every day. And so they've been out of school for a couple of years, and it's not something that, there's a time limit on it, so that presses them as well. And being prepared for the types of questions that they're going to see has been a big help for us. I can tell you, I think 4 of those 6 applicants who passed the test went to those classes. And all the ones who didn't go to that testing did not pass one of those classes. So it's been a big help for us, and we appreciate it. Speaking of applicants, we have 5 applications now on our desk. They're waiting, their background investigations have been completed, they've passed that. We're waiting for voice stress analysis on those 5. We will interview them in the time being, and they will be ranked. Of those 5, if they all pass perf, then 3 of those applicants will be hired, and 2 will be put on a hiring list in reserve, which will be the first time in at least 5 years that I know of that this department's had a hiring list. So that means it'll be at full complement, and we'll have some applicants out there just waiting for a phone call, which is a good thing for everybody here. We have 1 applicant that has passed everything with perf. He's a lateral transfer, and we're just waiting for his packet to come back so he can be given a hiring date. There are no probationary officer reports today because the Division of Professional Standards is out. Again, we're not going to discuss any new business, so I'll turn the forum over to Chief Corley.
I just have a couple of things before I allow Chief Forker and Chief Cooney to expound on some things. Just wanted to remind everybody that the citywide Easter egg hunt is coming up. That will be March 30th. The gates will open at 11:30 and the hunt will start at noon. As you know, the hunt is probably about 5 minutes. It's more of a gathering than a hunt because the eggs are spread out over Feathers Alley. So, you know, we'll have 4 different lanes for age groups 0 to 4, 5 to 7, 8 to 10, and 11 to 12. So those age groups will be separated. We encourage people to come on out. We'll have 20, 30,000 plus eggs out there. We'll have some gold tickets and eggs that will allow kids to get additional prizes after they find them. So please come out. If anybody wants to help us put the eggs out and get them set up, we'll start at 8:45 with that process. And so feel free to come out and help with that. Also on the 27th, we need volunteers to come to the Senior Center from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. to help stuff the eggs. Like I said, it's about 20 to 30,000 eggs we'll stuff with candies, golden tickets, and so forth. So please come out. We will feed you. We get a free meal out of it, out of that. So come on out. And, it's not only a great way to get free meal, volunteer time, but it's a great way to network with or communicate with your fellow citizens. You know, you sit around the table and as you're stuffing eggs, you're talking and getting to know each other. So it's a great way for us to come together as a community for a good cause. So please come out to that. Just wanted to say thank you to our officers for the job they've continued to do over these last years and since the beginning of this year, also starting with January 2024 to now. The many successes we have had, and again, Chief Cooney might talk more on it, but you know, we recently had a traumatic incident where, you know, officers were shot at and, you know what I'm saying, actually prevailed. And as we talked about some things, not only did I express that I was happy for the safety of our officers, but just the way that we handle ourselves, because as we talked about things, we could have been in a situation where, you know, not only are we safe, but we could have been in a situation where we could have been on every major news outlet in the world talking about something. But because of the way our officers handle ourselves, we're able to talk about it here and go forward and you know, correct some things, not just with us, but within the community also. I think kind of comes back to our training. I know we've been questioned before on our training methods, but there's a great incident of where our officers conducted themselves, and it's based on their training on how to go into situations, and it's not always a shoot situation. It's other factors that come into play, how to make themselves safe and keep other people safe. So again, thank you to those officers, but thank you to all of our officers who not only helped in that situation, but there's a period of support that now starts. And I think that's one thing our department is moving forward to, and we're doing a good job of, is that we're supporting our people to make sure that they have what they need. And so I think that's all I have on my bucket list for now. Chief Forker.
Yeah, again, I'll just expound on, again, the incident that occurred. It's been about 10 days now or so over on Kentucky Street. Again, I can't thank the officers enough that were involved in that incident. The courage, dedication, intestinal fortitude that it took to stand in there, again, to essentially hold the line against you know, an individual that was, you know, ultimately firing shots at us. Took tremendous courage. I mean, just, again, the courage to stand up against that is, it says a lot about the individuals that we have here in this police department, and it says a lot about who they are. I'm sure there'll be more to come on that here in a police commission meeting here in the near future, but again, we just want to recognize that event, and again, just the officers that were involved and the courage and professionalism that was displayed there. Obviously take an opportunity to recognize Officer Boots and Officer Abraham. Again, just a couple of officers here that, again, continually go above and beyond the call of duty, right? Again, you've probably seen Officer Boots, especially out in the community. I'm sure she has a trunk full of treats that has frequently has been near a block near you where it pops open and she's passing out fruit snacks and everything else. You know, she does an amazing job just intertwining herself within the community And obviously, just one incident here on display today. And again, Officer Abraham, again, he's been up here a couple times in front of the commission just for letters of accommodation alone. Continues to go above and beyond. And again, just show his due diligence and essentially his methodical, I mean, just being able to catch something like that on display, right? Somebody essentially overdosing on narcotics or taking narcotics, you know, in the in-between, right? We do these routine cell checks and whatnot, and it's easy, you know, as we go by there, right? They see us pass and they're, okay, yeah, they're still kicking and breathing and everything's good. Well, then he comes back to his post at the front desk and just to still be monitoring those cameras and to catch that just says something about his deep, you know, he's very detail oriented and does his job, you know, to the best of his ability, which is, you know, a very high ability. So again, we just want to recognize him. I just want to obviously wish him and his wife good luck as they're, you know, looking forward, you know, to the birth of their children, or additional children in the near future. So again, we just want to wish them good luck, and you know, we look forward to, you know, obviously seeing, you know, you guys and your family grow within, you know, the department as well. So again, just congratulations to them, and look forward to hearing more about it here in the near future. So I think that's all I got. I'm headed south for spring break here in a week, so I'm kind of tracked out as well.
2 days. Good morning, Dave Cooney, Chief of Services. Couple things I wanted to cover at the last meeting that we didn't get a chance to because we were doing awards and some other things. I want to talk about our flock usages for the month of January. Just the shift alone. On January 2nd, they apprehended a warrant arrest from the system. January 8th was a hit and run. The owner of the suspect vehicle was identified. January 17th, we had a shots fired that was connected to drug dealing that's going to be looked into by our drug unit. January 18th, a stolen vehicle from LaPorte was recovered in Michigan City. January 21st, hit and run, suspect ID'd, and a warrant request is pending. And then January 29th, an attempt to identify a counterfeit suspect who's been passing bills in town. All those are just from the shift. Those are incidences that would not have been able to occur or would have taken longer had we not had our flock system. Regarding investigations or tied to case reports, flock was used at least 11 times, 2 of which were a theft case. 1 was warrant service, 3 accident reports, a drug investigation, and then 3 shots fired calls. It's been brought up asking about what kind of de-escalation and mental health training that we have. I would say under the last critical incident, I would say that we're well ahead of schedule with our preparations. We do yearly training that's mandated by the state. We also have 28 CIT officers that are trained, as well as supervisors for critical incident training. And again, helps with development of de-escalation and dealing with people in the mental health crisis. We're also developing, again, our internal peer support team. Those are going to help actually officers and their families regarding critical incidents. When these type of situations happen, you know, we need to have that ability to follow up with our officers and make sure they're mentally fit for the duties, as well as their families, as we continue to do that. Our NIDR statistics, again, our overall crime stats for the year for 2023 will be presented to the council following the mayor's meeting. April 10th is her address to the city. So following that, most likely within a meeting or 2 of the city council will be presenting our 2023 crime statistics. Those NIDR statistics are also available online. Question about misconduct was asked. Just for reference, every critical incident that the Michigan City Police Department is involved in is reviewed by our command staff. Use of force, accidents, pursuits are all reviewed monthly by our staff of commanders and reviewed. Of those, the outcome is typically, was appropriate action by the officer, or is it inappropriate? And then is it discipline or no discipline? The discipline options obviously are verbal, counseling slip, letter reprimand, or suspension, and then potentially remedial training if they need it. And again, FOIA requests as well. If you want specific information, you got to complete FOIA request specifically for lawsuits that have been filed, if you have questions about that. Going to today, again, congratulations to Officer Boots and Officer Abraham, fantastic job. We definitely want, as we continue to go, to have our officers appreciated for what they do on a regular basis. We're doing a great job with that. We want to continue to do that as well. And again, thanks to the community involvement with the applicant process. We hired 23 people in just over a year, and we couldn't have done that many people without the help of that study session. The critical incident occurred a week and a half ago. I can't be happier for how we all handled the situation. Stressful event, and again, we continue to reach out to those officers and make sure they're still doing well for that. So, that's all I have. Thank you.
Hey, one quick shout out. I want to give a shout out to the Patrona food truck. The owners Arturo and Carol Flores of Cabos wanted to show support to our officers. So yesterday they provided lunch for the staff here. It was very tasty. Again, that's why I can't eat no cake today because I had too much yesterday, but very tasty. Again, we thank you, again, our community partners for showing support. Our officers really appreciate it, and it just goes to show that not only how well we interconnected our community and how we bridge that gap of police and community, but also how to our officers it shows also that they're appreciated by the community also. So again, thank you to Arturo and Carol.
Sorry, I can see where I'm at. Okay. So as far as commissioner comments, I'll just say this. So in some way, shape, or form, I'm gonna age myself here. For the last 34 years I've been involved with this department. I can say that some of my proudest moments have been moments like today where newer officers are recognized for a good job. And I say that because I think there's an importance of hiring the right people, and I feel like we've done that. We've hired the right people, and you know, as you can see from Ashley Boots, not every police officer is 6'1", 220 pounds, and looks like they can lift the house, you know. But she doesn't need that because she has communication skills, and that keeps you out of a lot of situations where you don't need to be 6'1", 220 pounds. So congratulations to her, and again, proud moments for me that we hire the people that deserve to be hired and that this community deserves to protect and serve them. So we don't have any upcoming hiring dates right now. Again, we're gonna have finally a list, a hiring list to choose from. But I'd like to grow that list at some point, maybe this summer, so we can have more. As far as the last 34 years as well, I can tell you that in the last several years, I've seen more officers recognized for doing a good job than I did for a long time when I was an officer here. And I think that's important as well, so I congratulate you and thank you, gentlemen, because the people who work for you need to understand that not only does the community appreciate them, but their bosses appreciate them. That goes a long way, not only in this profession, but every profession. So thank you for doing that. Also, as far as the community, I think Mr. Mellon there is our first and only community regular who attends a meeting, but that's good as well because everybody needs some constructive criticism. There needs to be oversight everywhere. So we appreciate him, and we encourage others that have any questions or concerns to come to the meeting as well. So there's nothing to hide. Everything's out in the open. And with that, I think that Mr. Mellon wants to say a couple of words.
Public comment.
Am I the only member of the public?
Well, you're not, but you're going to be the first one.
All right. Thank you, Scott Mellon, 200 Kenwood Place. I came last week to, please, if you cancel a meeting, let's update the calendar. As of this morning, this meeting wasn't announced. I had to call county yesterday. But anyway, side note, I came specifically to thank the Michigan City Police Force for the outstanding job they did in that incident on Tennessee or Kentucky Street. If the press report and press reports, if I understand correctly, if shots were fired at the police did not shoot back. That's an amazing outcome, an amazing restraint. It shows the caliber of the training undergoes here, the caliber of the officers, and the leadership of the command staff. And I applaud you for that positive outcome. As a member of the public, I'd be interested in following this through the court process because the alleged shooter, not only being a juvenile, apparently had been arrested for doing the exact same thing about 2 years ago. Clearly that's a problem with the courts and other aspects. But if there's any way, I don't know if it steps out of bounds of the police to publish court dates or if they could guide us to how we could follow this, I would appreciate that.
All that stuff is available at mycase.in.gov. You
Thank
can
you.
search by name,
Okay,
so just search My Case Indiana to the pop up.
okay, great. Again, amazing outcome, and I thank you for keeping us out of the national news for a different outcome that has unfortunately happened in many other places. So really, mega kudos. I'd also like to thank the chief for addressing the concerns of the public that were brought up in the past. I really appreciate that responsiveness and that information. Thank you very much. The Coffee with the Chiefs, another great program. I read on a comment on Facebook that you might want to add an evening for people who aren't available during the day. Maybe 1 out of 3 or even every other. But another great program, great outreach. Maybe there's even a way we could get an officer in the schools, kind of the old officer-friendly thing. Maybe if this alleged shooter had been involved as a 6-year-old to know the police are our friends, maybe he would have taken a different path in life, allegedly. And I've spoken to a code enforcement officer, and they diligently tried. She said when it concerns vehicles, that it's a police matter. It's code in our city that you can't park on the grass, you can't park in the front lawn. I literally have people parking in their front lawn, and I'm supposedly in a nice neighborhood. So, just for clarification, is that a matter for the police? Because I've got code enforcement doing this right.
So, yeah, so if you see those things, just give us a call. You call Corporal Wright, Traffic Division, he takes care of that, or just call the front desk and they'll send an officer out to assess it.
Okay.
It's a combination.
Yeah, it's a combination.
It's a city ordinance violation, so again, those can be enforced by code enforcement as well. Generally, though, sometimes with dealing with vehicles, the information involved, right, is something that the police have access to as well.
And I don't necessarily want people to find, but, guided in the right direction would
Correct.
definitely be the first step.
Yeah, and I think our system allows people, gives people ample time to correct the situation before something else would come along.
Great. Again, thank you. And again, an amazing outcome there in that shooting event. Amazing restraint by the officers. Amazing outcome to talk this person out of the house in a peaceful manner. Really well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
As a member of the public, and I would hope the entire citizenship of Michigan City thanks you for that outcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? All right, then, so I'll adjourn the meeting. The next meeting will be Wednesday, April the 10th, 11 a.m. here.
Thank you.